Hello and welcome or welcome back to the Unbound Soul Tarot. Today's reading is going to be all about the messages that you need to hear the most. What is it that Spirit wants to tell you for your highest good at this specific time? So if you are interested in that, then stick around for the messages that are about to be unfolding. As always, we have 3 piles to choose from, and today we are again using different tarot decks for each pile, as well as different colored cards. So let's go through your options. The first pile is represented by this card, the lapis lazuli stone, as well as the Whisper of Stars and Garden Tarot. Pile number 2 is represented by this card, the Serpentine Stone, and the Every Little Thing You Do is Magick Tarot. And pile number 3 is represented by this card, the Pyrite Stone, and the Soul Journey or Seelenreise Tarot. If you already know which pile is calling out your name, then you can go straight to the description box down below and click on the timestamp that you need. But if you need a few suggestions, recommendations on how to go about choosing the right pile for you, then first, I would recommend getting yourself to a quiet space if you are surrounded by any distractions or noise, and closing your eyes for a few seconds, taking some deep breaths to really calm yourself down, get yourself present in this moment, and really tune into your physical body, what you are feeling, any sensations that are coming up, and all of that. Once you open your eyes again and you look at the piles, you look at the colors, you look at the stones, see what your eye is drawn to, see what your gut is telling you. Maybe there is a specific nudge or physical sensation in your body somewhere that alerts you to which pile is yours. Maybe you hear something, maybe again you see something, maybe there is a flash or some sort of a visual symbol for you that tells you that this is your pile. As I always say, please trust your intuition and follow it. But also, don't forget to use your discernment as you are listening to these general messages. So, without further ado, let's jump into it. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 1. My name is Helen and thank you so much for tuning in. I'm really excited to get into these messages with you. So you chose this orange card, as well as the lapis lazuli stone and the Whisper of Stars and Garden Tarot. Now I am going to put the card over here for the time being, because we are going to take a look at the message that is on the other side of this card at the end of the reading. So yeah, we'll see what sort of a wrap-up message we get. But yeah, anyway, so I'm also going to put the tarot cards on the side here for a bit, because first I am going to start off with some oracle cards. So I'm going to start off with the oracle cards, as is the norm on this channel. And these oracle cards are going to paint us a little picture about what it is that you are currently dealing with, what sort of situation is the most sort of prevalent for you at this time. So this should make it fairly easy for you to recognize yourself and this pile as your pile. Yeah, let's see what we get. Okay, we have authenticity, passion, we have ego. What are the false and problematic beliefs that you have about yourself and the world? What are the perceptions of yourself that are not aligned with the truth of who you are? What quote-unquote masks are you wearing? Intimacy and challenge. Okay. Okay, pile number 1. The message that is coming through from these cards can very well talk about a relationship that you have with someone. It doesn't have to be a romantic partner by any means, but it can be about it can even be about a friendship or a member of your family that you have a connection with. But this can also talk about a career or work related area of life as well. Regardless of how this specifically talks to you or which area of life it talks to you about, the message that is coming through here is very heavily tied to self-expression and having this courage to be who you really are, to show what you really feel, to be vulnerable in the sense that you are exposing something that reveals a very private part of yourself, or something that you have a very strong feeling towards. And so exposing that makes you feel somewhat fragile, or like it's not safe to do that, possibly. Because the first card is very self-explanatory. The message of authenticity is clearly talking about being willing to stand out, being willing to defy the societal norms or the expectations and rules that have been placed upon you, the sort of conditioning that you have grown up in or that you are living in right now, what is sort of considered to be normal or acceptable. Having the courage to possibly disappoint people or just not meet people's expectations of you, and potentially even be or express yourself in a way that is somewhat shocking to people. Like, there is something about that level of authenticity that is coming through here. Of course, it doesn't have to be quite as dramatic as this. It can simply be that there is some part of you that you feel very strongly about, but that you may struggle actually showing people, or that you may be ashamed of yourself. So that may be a message here too. Now we have this passion card. I'm going to cover it up because this deck features a lot of nudity, but I feel like it's just part of this really powerful and healing energy that it has. But for YouTube's sake, I'm going to cover it up. But this says passion on it. And so again, I do feel that there is very strong emotion that is tied to this self-expression. So whatever it is that you either feel somewhat ashamed of, or like you are not sure that you can fully express, or that you are not sure that people are going to accept, it feels like it's a very powerful part of you. Like there is a lot of drive and fire that is behind it. But again, as I said, this passion can also talk about the relationship that you have with someone, and that may be the reason why you may struggle expressing yourself fully, or why you may feel like you have to hold back somewhat. Because again, we have this ego card that came out, which is one of the shadow work cards in this deck. Basically, I feel like all of the questions that are on this card already say everything that needs to be said. Again, especially with the last one, that feels really potent. What masks are you wearing? And what are the perceptions of yourself that are not aligned with the truth of who you are? So again, it's talking about this defense mechanism, this persona or identity that you have maybe given to yourself, but that may not actually be fully aligned with how you feel on the inside. So there may be this aspect of you that you're sort of trying to tweak or make more palatable for people. And again, this is in no way a criticism or anything like that. There's very likely a good reason why you are doing that, if that's you, if you are recognizing yourself from this reading. So this is in no way a criticism or judgment, but it does feel like there is some sort of a shadow that is tied up in this, that is sort of the root of this whole issue. Now, we do have this intimacy card here too, and I do feel that that may be one of the reasons why you are potentially starting to feel a bit uneasy about holding back or about making yourself more palatable, because I feel like you miss this true intimacy, this true vulnerability, being seen by someone and being accepted by someone exactly as you are without needing to change anything or try to be something that you are not just to make someone else happy. And again, I feel like there is this feeling of missing out and really wanting that. This passion card may also talk about this desire to actually have this true intimacy, this true sense of belonging, this true sense of connection. And finally, we have this challenge. So on the one hand, I feel like it's talking about the challenge that you feel on the inside, how it may be somewhat of a struggle for you to express yourself fully. But on the other hand, again, I feel like it's this growing sense of fight in you. You know, how the absence of intimacy, of true connection is something that is pushing you to face that fear of being seen and exposing yourself, you know. So that is what is coming through from these cards, pile number one. Hopefully, if this made sense to you, then you know that you are in the right place, watching the right reading. But yeah, if this didn't make sense to you, then feel free to check out the other piles as well. But yeah, if you did recognize yourself, then we are going to move right along with this reading. And we are now going to get some prompts to answer for you specifically. So I have no idea what sort of questions Spirit deems important for you to find answers to or hear answers to at this time. So we're going to get 3 questions, 3 prompts to look at for you specifically. So let's see what sort of questions are we going to be answering today with the tarot cards that you chose. Okay, so I changed my mind. I thought I was going to get all 3 prompts out at once, but I don't know, there was a sudden feeling that I should just do these prompts one at a time. So we're going to focus on the first one, and the focus area or the prompt is North Star. What forces are guiding you and steering you towards the right path? What guides you towards your purpose and your light? So yeah, I'm loving that we're getting this North Star message, because it feels like it's something that you are meant to follow, because it feels tied to your authenticity, the whole topic that we have been talking about. So let's see, what can we find out about your North Star? What forces are guiding you towards the right path? Okay, so I just want to put it out there that these cards have this velvety and like rose petal type finish to them, so they tend to stick together quite a lot. So that's why if like a clump of cards come out at once, I am not going to take them. So yeah, just to put it out there. Anyway, sorry. You have the 5 of Cups and the 7 of Pentacles in reverse, with the Page of Pentacles as the underlying energy. So I'm going to start off with the 5 of Cups that came out in reverse. I'm going to show you the cards upright because the illustrations on this deck are absolutely out of this world gorgeous. So I just want to show them to you so you would be able to see. But yeah, the 5 of Cups, when it comes out in reverse especially, is talking about, actually, sorry. I'm so all over the place today, but I feel like I need to actually look at it in reverse so that I would be able to tap into the energy of it properly. So the 5 of Cups, when it comes out in reverse, is talking about this level of having experienced deep disappointment and a sense of grief or loss regarding some of the experiences that you have gone through in the past and some of the things that you have missed out on. I feel like it's talking to the experiences that you have had when it comes to you feeling like whatever you do to make someone else happy, it's never enough, or how even when someone else is happy, there is something deeply disappointing about it for you. So I feel like there is this emotional hurt, this emotional wound that is very much still present, that is tied to this putting on a mask, putting on a brave face, putting on a smile for the sake of someone else, pressing down or trying to deny and override what you are truly feeling on the inside. So I feel with the Five of Cups in reverse that you are wanting to do things differently in the future. This deep pull that you have, this North Star that is guiding you, is deriving from this desire to quote unquote like right the wrongs of the past and turn things around so that you wouldn't feel that way again, so that you wouldn't go through this emotional turmoil again. Because I do feel that regardless of how other people have felt around you, the sacrifices that you have made have been deeply emotionally destructive for you. Maybe it's not quite as dramatic for some of you. Again, this is a general reading, but the Five of Cups does not play around. So it does hint at some deep emotional wounds that are still present. And we also have this Seven of Pentacles that is coming out in reverse as well. Again, I'm going to show you the illustration upright so that you could see. But the Seven of Pentacles, when it comes out in reverse, is talking about not getting the results that you were hoping for, or feeling like the effort, the work that you have put into something is not equivalent to the rewards that you get from it, or the results that you get from it. And so, again, I feel like there is this connection between some of the past experiences that you have had not getting or giving you the results that you were hoping for. So again, just to go back to this example of potentially doing something to please a specific person, maybe the reaction that you were hoping to get from them or the treatment that you were hoping to get from them didn't actualize, you know? And so I feel like this pull, this passion, this desire, this defiance that you are feeling now is coming from the sense of feeling like you have paid too high a price, that this whole effort that you're putting into it and this suffering that you are experiencing as a result of it, it's not worth it. And so with the Page of Pentacles coming out as the underlying energy here, I feel like this is hinting at you feeling like you want to do things differently. You want to try something new. You want to have a different approach and really put your focus on something that is worth it. Because again, we're dealing with the Pentacle suit, right? So it's all about the gains, the results, the rewards that you can get. Okay, so clearly the force that is driving you is a very important one. Kind of the reason behind this motivation of yours, this North Star, is something that, obviously, because it came out, is something that Spirit really wants you to put some emphasis on. But let's take a look at the other topic or question that Spirit wants you to hear an answer for. Okay. Wow, we have invincibility. How can you tap into your courage? How can you grow a thicker skin? How can you deflect and overcome negativity, judgment, and criticism? How can you trust yourself more deeply? Wow, I am loving this. Yeah, so let's take a look at how you can trust yourself more deeply. I feel like that is the most sort of powerful question here. So how can you trust yourself more deeply? Okay, so we have the Four of Wands, the Page of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles as the underlying energy. Okay, so we have the Four of Wands and the Page of Swords, and I feel like the way that you can Okay, I feel like I need to turn the light down because it's just way too bright. Yeah, there we go. Now you can see more of the cards as well, because these are, they are stunning and I don't want you to miss anything. But yeah, so the Four of Wands and the Page of Swords are alluding to this need to think back on all of the little victories that you have already had. With the Four of Wands, this is a card of celebration, of milestones, of reaching some sort of goals. And even though the Four of Wands is not necessarily the be-all, end-all sort of energy, it's still talking about these moments that are worth remembering, that are worth celebrating, that are worth cherishing. And especially with the Page of Swords, this is talking about using your logic, using the rational mind. And I feel like it's specifically hinting at these memories, these positive memories, so that you could sort of perk yourself up, so that you could, you know, give yourself these little affirmations, so that you could really talk to yourself and use these empowering words. It's hinting at needing to use your voice and needing to mold your thoughts in a way that would be more supportive, more uplifting, especially because the Queen of Pentacles is the underlying energy here. So the Queen of Pentacles is a very nurturing and practical sort of hands-on energy. And so I feel like the advice here is to use practical tools to actually put these things into practice, to create these little rituals for yourself in whichever way works best for you, whatever way is sustainable for you. So it can be these little things. It doesn't have to be this big, huge process, but just taking these little moments every day to remind yourself of the beautiful qualities that you have, the skills and talents that you have. Because again, the Queen of Pentacles, which by the way I feel is tied to your energy, is really resourceful. And there is so much hidden in you that I feel that you don't even give yourself credit for. So really, yeah, taking the time to offer yourself the self-care is something that is going to help make you feel more invincible, is going to help you build yourself up. But I also feel with the Four of Wands that, again, next to this Page of Swords, both of these cards together are making me feel that there could also be a group of people, or again, maybe it's your family, maybe it's someone very specific, a very dear friend to you, or maybe it's your partner. But I feel like there is someone around you who is actually very supportive, who like wants to uplift you, who wants to support you, who is this positive force in your life, and potentially seeking their advice as well, or getting some reassuring words from them. That may also help, or just again, being more conscious, being more deliberate about the sort of people that you spend time with, and really getting more exposure from, again, the positive, the uplifting, the optimistic forces in your life. So let's take a look at the last question or prompt as well. Okay, so we have armor. What defensive gear or mechanism can you put in place? What is your best defensive strategy to enforce your boundaries? How can you remain strong and resilient? So basically, yeah, this card is all about how you can protect yourself and how you can sort of keep yourself strong. So it feels like it's somewhat similar to the invincibility energy. I feel like there is a somewhat of an overlap here. It would be most useful to focus on the boundaries part of it. So what is your best defense strategy to enforce your boundaries? Let's take a look. How can you enforce your boundaries? Okay, interesting. And we have the Six of Pentacles as the underlying energy. The cards that you got are Judgment and the Two of Swords. So I'm going to start off with the underlying energy, the Six of Pentacles, because this is talking about giving and receiving. But in this instance, I feel like it's talking about receiving more so, and more specifically, the energies that you are willing to receive. So basically, this is saying that you don't have to accept everything that people give you. It's not rude to say no, especially when what is being offered to you is not something that you feel aligns with your morals, aligns with your values, aligns with your truth, and aligns with who you want to be or who you are trying to become. Yeah, there's something about needing to be very selective about what you accept into your life, because we have this Judgment and the Two of Swords, and the Judgment card feels, first off, like it's talking about discernment as well in some sense, especially after you have gone through this awakening, or when you feel this strong pull of the North Star, which is exactly the sort of energy that we have been talking about at the very beginning when we were talking about this passion and this drive that you feel. So I feel like this awakening moment has already occurred. And keeping that in mind, the Two of Swords is hinting at a gatekeeper sort of energy. So like shutting yourself off, or not allowing things to mess with this newfound understanding, or this newfound belief that you have. And the Two of Swords is basically saying that you don't have to accept, you don't have to say yes to things, especially if what is being offered to you is not something that you truly want, is not something that aligns with you. It may even be something that hurts you, because again, one of the swords here, I know I keep repeating myself, but I love the illustrations on these cards. I feel like they are so powerful. One of the swords here that is being considered, so to say, is actually causing this woman here who is kneeling, sitting down, to bleed out from her hand. So one of the options is actually hurting her. And so I do feel that it's this defiance, it's this willingness to honor yourself, this willingness to, as I said, be a gatekeeper, to say no, to value what it is that truly adds to your life, and being very critical about what is something that may harm you, or what is something that may take away from the quality of your life. And not just saying no, but standing by it, being confident in saying no, and not feeling like you need to justify it. There is something about that I feel is going to really help you to keep your boundaries in place. But pile number one, I know this has been a really long reading. Yet again, I don't know what it is, but we are going to get a few oracle card messages as well, just some last pieces of advice from Spirit through these really cute Disney cards. So let's see what sort of advice we get for you. And then, of course, we're going to take a look at the card that you chose as well. Okay. Wow. The card that you got first is from Robin Hood, and it says a need for justice. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of tying me back to the last message that we finished talking about, which is all about standing up for your truth, standing up for what you believe in, and not allowing those to be steamrolled or ignored or anything like that. So yeah, fighting for justice. And I feel like fighting for justice for yourself. There is something about being your own advocate that I feel is a strong message here, and I feel like Spirit really wants you to prioritize. And we also have a message regarding looking beyond appearances. In this instance, it's talking about looking beyond what someone may be offering you. Again, I don't know why, but I keep feeling this pull back towards the last message that we were talking about, and how people may be presenting you with things, they may be giving you certain options or suggestions, but try and dig deeper, try and look beyond or behind what is actually being said, because I feel like there is something more hidden there. It's not exactly as it looks like. And I feel like that's what this card is talking about as well. And at the bottom of the deck is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. We have a message from the Big Hero 6, which talks about an evolution. And I do feel that that is what you are going through right now, pile number one. You are evolving. You are turning into a 2.0 version of yourself, if I can say it like that. So yeah, times are changing and you are changing. Even though it can be tricky, even though it can be somewhat difficult to find your footing and figure things out and establish a new rhythm, establish a new normal for yourself, it's really worth it. And I feel like you are really well equipped as well. Okay, so pile number one, it's time. Let's take a look at the message that you got. Oh wow, we have own your intention. Crystallize your why and feel its potential tingling in your bones. Our intentions fuel our creative undertakings. What is the true purpose? Intentions need not be complicated to be explosively potent. Listen closely to decipher your desires. Visualize the most radiant outcome and use your intention as your guide. Wow. Oh my goodness. I absolutely love this message. Even though this deck is focused on creativity and art, I really, I love the key phrases on the cards, and that's why I love using it as just like normal oracles. But yeah, own your intention. I mean, again, there is something really powerful behind this desire that you feel, and I feel like Spirit is urging you to follow it and to go through with it and see where it takes you. But pile number one, I'm going to leave it here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for bearing with me as well, hanging in there through all of these long messages. I really, really hope that this reading gave you something. I hope that it was insightful, or at the very least entertaining and interesting to listen to. If you're still here, by the way, you can leave me a little bow and arrow, because we actually have 2 of those, I just noticed. So yeah, please leave me a little bow and arrow. Hopefully that exists as an emoji, so that I would know that you are still here and that you enjoyed this reading. I would really love to see you in the comment section. And as always, I would love to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. But in the meantime, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 2. My name is Helen and I am so happy that you have found your way to me and have chosen to spend your time with me. So thank you for being here. Now you chose the this card, the Serpentine Stone, and the Every Little Thing You Do is Magic tarot deck. But we are going to put the tarot deck and the card that you chose on the side for the time being. This one has a message on the other side of it, so we are going to finish up the reading with this message, see what you actually chose. And yeah, we're going to use the tarot cards after to answer the questions that Spirit wants you to know. But before we get to that, we also have some oracle cards to look at. And these oracle cards are going to give us a brief overview of what it is that you are currently dealing with. What is the situation that is occurring in your life right now? What is the most sort of prevalent energy that you are dealing with? And as you are listening to these messages, it should be fairly easy to recognize yourself. It should give you a clue as to whether this is really your pile or not. And yeah, let's see what we get. Okay, so we have self-image, disconnection, we have purge, to destroy, to cleanse, to renew, to eradicate and transform. Disappointment and excess or overwhelm, overflow. Pile number 2. If you were drawn to the first pile as well, there may be some messages in there for you too. But I have to say, I feel like this topic of transformation and just kind of turning your life around, I feel like it's going to be a bigger theme throughout a lot of readings that I'm going to be doing. I don't know, it just feels like it's more of a collective energy at play, and that's why it keeps kind of showing up. But yeah, as I said, there may be some messages in the first pile as well, but the first pile was somewhat more external energy focused, whereas this pile feels a lot more personal and internal. So it's interesting that you chose the serpentine stone, because thinking about snakes and how snakes shed their skin, snakes are a really well-known symbol for transformation and renewal as well. And that kind of feels like what you are dealing with too, pile number 2. Especially because we have these two very potent and very powerful cards coming out, especially when they come out together. We have this concept of self-image and disconnection. You may be experiencing these feelings of not really recognizing yourself anymore, or not being happy with who is looking back at you from the mirror. It can be more apparent in the sense that it may be tied to your physical appearance, and there may be some aspects about that irk you, annoy you, that you are just not happy with and that you would like to change. But it can also talk about something more deep, something more internal and personality focused. Or it can even simply talk about just your life and the way that you are living your life, your lifestyle, the choices that you are making, how you are spending your time every day. There may be all of these different aspects, or maybe even all of them together, that you are starting to really dislike, that you are starting to grow distant from. And again, it's almost like you have woken up and realized that you don't feel like yourself, or you don't recognize the person that you have become, or the life that you have somehow ended up living, the changes that are occurring in your physical appearance, in your body. Maybe there are certain mood changes, or again, things that are tied to your internal nature, your internal well-being, that you feel like you are tired of. You don't want that anymore. And the reason why I feel that there is, again, something really annoying about it, or something that you feel tired of, is because of this purge card. It feels like you are focused on letting go of, getting rid of, eradicating things from your life that just aren't good for you. There's this feeling of needing to make space, needing to clean house. And again, it feels very much internal and emotional, but it may also be tied to the more physical aspects of life. So you may actually be making some changes there too. But I feel like it's very much tied to your emotional body and to your mentality, your mindset as well, because it's all connected, right? The way that we feel, the way that we think, the way that we live our lives, the choices that we make, the food we eat, everything like that, the actions that we end up taking or not taking, it's all tied to how well we feel mentally and emotionally and spiritually, and all of those aspects are connected. I'm looking at this disappointment card, and I actually want to put the other card next to it as well, because we have this excess card right next to it. And so it feels like there is just a bit too much of the negative feelings that are pushing you to make these changes. There is just too much of it now, where you have reached a point where you can't take it anymore. You don't want to take it anymore. You don't want to put up with it anymore. You want to turn things around. And again, this disappointment may be tied to your own sort of choices, maybe some of the things that you have again chosen to do, or conversely pass up on, or not take advantage of. It may be tied to the external circumstances that you find yourself in, some of the things that have been outside of your control and that have gone not according to your plan, where life has sort of taken you down a different route and played out differently than what you had hoped for or what you had expected. There is a lot of this, especially emotional overwhelm that is present here. But as I said, I feel like it's all tied in. So I would not be surprised at all if you recognize this feeling in pretty much like all of these different areas of life as well. And again, physically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, it feels like it's more expansive like that. But yeah, pile number 2, that is what is coming through from these oracle cards. So if you recognize yourself, and that is the sort of internal transformation that you are going through right now, then definitely stick around, because now we are going to take a look at the oracle cards that are going to give us the prompts or questions that the universe or spirit or God, whoever you really resonate with, whoever you believe in, what sort of messages do you need to hear right now? What sort of questions do you need answers to? So it's going to be very exciting, because I have no idea what's going to come up, and it's going to be specifically for you and what you need to hear at this time. So let's see, what is the first question that Spirit wants you to hear an answer to? Okay. We have battle, shadows to overcome, obstacles, monsters and minions to slay, a difficult situation at hand, a confrontation. Yeah, so basically the focus point that Spirit wants to highlight at this time is one to do with the battle, the main battle that you are facing at this time. What is the main sort of obstacle that you have to overcome? So let's take a look and see what we find out. Wow, okay. Interesting. So you are getting more cards than anticipated, but we are taking all of them. We have the 10 of Cups, the 9 of Cups, and the Devil, with the Apprentice of Wands at the bottom of the deck, or I think it's the Knight of Wands, or is it a Knight or a Page? Oh, it's a Page. It's a Page of Wands. Okay, so I am getting a couple of messages from these cards. Now, starting off with the first message, I definitely feel that someone here, maybe this is more of a specific message, but I feel like someone here is much more focused on needing to appear happy and successful than actually feeling it on the inside. There is this attachment, right? Because we're dealing with the Devil energy. There is this attachment to seeming happiness. With the 10 of Cups, this is all about having this be-all, end-all happiness, this joy, this fulfillment in life, but it's tied to other people. I feel that there is this connection to needing to appear happy and put together to other people, because I feel like from that sort of external validation is where you get some sort of emotional, like a positive emotional hit as well, even though there may not actually be a true emotional fulfillment there. So it's kind of like this fleeting or ego-driven sense of fulfillment, right? Because we are dealing with the Devil energy, so it's all to do with ego, it's all to do with attachment, it's all to do with feeling somewhat powerless, or again being driven by more like shadowy traits. And by the way, this is in no way a criticism, because I feel like it's something that we all do in one form or another, or at least that we have done in one form or another. But I just feel like for you, there is something about specifically like social media that keeps coming up, especially because of the Apprentice of Wands or the Page of Wands energy. So it's like wanting to communicate the happiness or the success or the fulfillment to other people, but not maybe actually feeling it, not maybe actually embodying and living it, and feeling like that is more important than actually attaining true fulfillment, if that makes sense. Like living this life that is enviable, or that other people may covet as well, or that other people may tell you how lucky you are to have, or something like that, but not really feeling the fulfillment from it. So that's definitely one message that I feel here. But the other one is sort of much more broad or general, and that one feels like it's tied to, again, having this attachment or having this bondage to the wishes or expectations of either like family members or just your loved ones, the people around you. It may even be the sort of friend group that you have. So maybe everyone is living a specific sort of lifestyle, or they have a very specific kind of standard of living. And, you know, maybe they expect everyone else to kind of be the same way, or maybe you yourself feel some sort of internal pressure to live up to that standard, even if it's actually not giving you anything, even if it's not fulfilling you, even if it's maybe even detrimental to you, either like emotionally or financially or spiritually. Yeah, there's something about this pressure of fulfilling dreams or visions for your life that is, again, very much coming from other people, and that isn't actually in accordance with what you want to do. And so in this instance, this Page of Wands is talking about finding this path for yourself, finding your own personal path, your own personal fulfillment, going down this adventure, allowing yourself to discover your personal desires. You know, even if it is vastly different from what everyone else is doing, what everyone else is pursuing, what everyone else is expecting you to want and pursue as well. So yeah, that seems to be the main battle that, let's keep it like this, that you are facing. But let's also take a look at the second question or prompt that Spirit wants you to hear an answer to. Okay, interesting. We have mission log. Your priorities, focus areas, and to-do lists. What is relevant to your story right now? What must be done? What have you forgotten to do? How can you organize your tasks better? Okay, so yeah, this is about what is the sort of most important thing for you to do, for you to take action on next, like an abstract or virtual to-do list. So let's see what we can find out about that, like what Spirit wants you to take action on next or focus on next. Oh. Okay, so I really don't want that many cards. These cards are huge as well, so they're just not going to fit on the desk here. So we have the Three of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, with the World as the underlying energy. I feel that what Spirit is saying here is that it's really important for you to next focus on broadening your horizons and really like experimenting, exploring what is out there. Especially with the Three of Wands, this is all about following your passion and kind of putting yourself out of your comfort zone a bit. And now I feel like I have to put a disclaimer in front of this next message, because this is definitely not meant to be taken too literally. But we have this Ace of Pentacles here that is coming out in reverse. And honestly, what I feel is putting less focus on practicality. And of course, I'm not talking about, you know, quitting your job or neglecting your bills or anything like that, right? Because we still have to live life. We still have to take care of our responsibilities and everything like that. So it's not talking about anything drastic in that sense. But with the Ace of Pentacles, there is this focus on potentially always thinking in a very rational and material and practical sense, and putting your desires or wishes or dreams or anything more abstract than that on the back burner. But I feel like at this time, those sort of priorities should really be shifted, because there is something about time being a limited resource. I feel like someone here again, this may be a very specific message, but I feel like someone here keeps thinking that there is enough time. Like you are going to do some of these things that you want to do and some of these things that you would like to experience and explore sometime in the future, that there is time for those things later. But right now you have to be practical. Right now you have to save money. Right now you have to, I don't know, take care of all of the mundane things and maybe even like accept these little work projects, accept these little opportunities, even if, because with the Ace of Pentacles, I feel like they are not things that actually light you up. They are not things that you actually want to do. They are not things that you actually want to spend your time or energy on, but you accept them because it feels, again, it feels practical. It feels like it's something that you should do. It's something that maybe your parents or your family or your co-workers, your friends, they encourage you to do, because again, it's like it's the smart thing to do, or it's the practical thing to do. But you know, it's hopefully you get what I'm trying to put across here. There has been way too much focus on like the proper way to live your life, and so because of it, there are so many things, so many dreams, so many adventures that I feel like you again have put on the back burner, that you haven't really focused on or set as priorities, because you think that you will get to them sometime later. But I feel like, especially with the world being the underlying energy here, this is a card of Saturn, and Saturn is the Time Lord. Saturn is tied very heavily to time passing and like everything that has to do with time, basically. And so I feel like Spirit is really emphasizing that there isn't an infinite amount of time. And so, of course, living your life and taking care of these mundane, practical things is important, but it shouldn't always take precedence over what your dreams are and what you want to do for yourself, what you want to experience and explore for the fun of it. And I feel like it's really time for you to step through this portal to take on a new adventure, to become the Fool, right? To step through this portal and enter a new chapter and really see what life has in store for you, what you can find out, what you can discover, how you can grow and what you can gain and benefit from following your dreams. Because you never know, it might even if it sounds more like frivolous and self-indulgent or anything like that, it may actually take you down really lucrative paths that are much more abundant and fulfilling and opportunity ridden than the one that you are choosing now, half-heartedly, I want to add for some reason. So yeah, that is the message there. But let's also take a look at the final question or prompt that Spirit wants you to hear and answer for at this time. Oh. Okay. Let's see what we have. We have weapon. What is your best defensive gear? How can you advance and progress vigorously? How can you achieve your aims and smash those goals? What is a skill, a talent, or an aspect of your power that you can utilize to manifest your desired outcome? Ooh, I really like that. What is a skill, a talent, or an aspect of your power that you can utilize to manifest your desired outcome? So let's take a look at what sort of weapon you possess, quote unquote weapon you possess, that will help you to get to where you really want to get to. Okay. Oh my goodness, this feels like such a chatty pile. I don't know. We're getting so many cards. But anyway, so we have the Hermit, we also have the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles that are coming out, with the Champion of Swords, or the Knight of Swords, as it is in traditional tarot, as the underlying energy that is coming out in reverse. Okay, so let's start off with the Hermit card. And this is hinting at your ability to really tune into yourself. I feel like you have a very strong sense of self, actually, and a very strong intuition, or a very strong sort of internal compass. I also feel like you may be quite independent or quite good at being on your own, quite good at enjoying your own company. And not everyone is able to do that. Not everyone has the capacity to actually be with themselves and like not feel lonely, not feel alone, not get bombarded by their thoughts. But I feel like you really, you don't really mind being by yourself. And I feel like at times you truly, truly enjoy it. And so this aspect of sort of being your own person, knowing who you are at your core is probably also the reason why you feel this disconnect so strongly, or why you feel like something has to change, because you realize that things are not in alignment. You realize that you are someone else deep down. And so this self-knowledge is definitely a really strong aspect of you, especially the ability to self-analyze, I feel, is something that you can truly utilize to move yourself forward towards what you want. And also, we have the Seven of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles. With the Seven of Swords, I feel this element of stealth, where you are very much able to work on things behind the scenes. You have the ability to keep a secret is kind of what's coming through here. And with the Seven of Pentacles, it's especially tied to things that are not ready yet, things that still need some time, things that need some patience. And I feel like, again, you seem to possess that patience, especially with the Hermit coming out too. You seem to be able to give things time, allow things time to develop organically and come into their own. And so I feel like as you are working on things, as you are developing certain things, there is this willingness to go at it alone, to work on it, to not get yourself muddled or anything by outside opinions. So I do feel that you are able to do things for yourself, by yourself, and in a way that is not affected by other people or the external influences. And I feel like you can share those when they are truly ready. We also have the underlying energy, which is this Knight of Swords coming out in reverse. I'm going to show you the card upright so you could see the illustration. But basically, the Knight of Swords coming out in reverse is an indication that you are in no rush, or that, again, you can give things time and you can really be thoughtful and determined, but in a way that isn't too reckless, in a way that isn't too pedal to the metal, you know, because that can be the energy of the Knight of Swords. But again, you seem to be doing really, really well in that regard, and being able to take your time. Yeah, and I don't know why, but I just felt the need to add slow and steady wins the race. So maybe that's a message for someone here. But anyway, those were the tarot messages. We are almost done. I know that this has again been quite a long reading, but clearly I have a lot that has sort of accumulated, a lot to get out of as I was on my little break. So yeah, let's wrap this reading up with some oracle card messages. We're going to get a few really cute oracle cards from this Disney oracle deck, and that is going to be advice for you from Spirit. And of course, we're going to wrap the whole reading up with the card that you actually chose. So let's see what sort of advice we can get for you. Oh my goodness. Okay. Wow. The first card out is a lucky star. Basically, what this card is saying is that luck is on your side. Spirit is working alongside with you. I think it's really potent that the card that you got is from Cinderella, because obviously Cinderella was living a life and a lifestyle that wasn't actually her at all, that wasn't in alignment with who she truly was on the inside. And even though, yes, I know it's it's very different from what we have been talking about, because, you know, she was basically a slave and in rags and all of that. But, you know, still, the point is that she was not who she really was on the inside. And, or I should say the outside didn't reflect what was on the inside. And so, you know, the help that she got, I feel like Spirit is saying that there can be something that surprises you, that kind of comes out of the blue, and something works, something is helping you out. So yeah, I feel like Spirit is really alongside you at this time. They are supporting you as you are going through this transformation, as you are wanting to break out of this mold, break out of this rhythm, and find more meaning, find something more aligned with you. So I do feel that Spirit is definitely saying that they are with you and that they are supporting you in this journey. And I really love that we have this message of go on an adventure, because yeah, clearly this whole message has very much been talking about you discovering things that light you up, you going on this path, on this whole new journey, stepping through the portal and becoming the Fool, and yeah, just seeing what life has in store. So I do definitely get the sense that Spirit is urging you to take the plunge, to go on this journey, to go on this adventure, because I feel like you are massively supported in it. And again, it's no surprise that you are feeling this pull, this desire to get rid of those things that don't serve you, and to find something that is more in alignment with you. At the bottom of the deck, we have a brilliant idea. Again, with this Jiminy Cricket, I get the sense that, again, Spirit is saying that you have this inner voice, just like we talked about with the Hermit. You have this inner knowledge, this deep, wise voice in you that can guide you to what you are meant to experience, where you are meant to go. So trust it, follow it. It is going to take you where you need to end up. And finally, pile number 2, let's take a look at the card that you chose. Oh my goodness. Wow, okay. This says, illuminate your aspirations. Our aspirations are glittering stars that guide us through the dark. What is your most expansive wish? Create a spell to illuminate your highest aspirations for yourself, your loved ones, and your community. In the pursuit of our guiding star, we become a beacon for others. Set a light in your heart, and the spark will leap and spread. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have to give a quick little explanation as well. So the reason why it's talking about like creating spells and stuff is because this is actually tied to art magic and creating spells and things like that. But I really love this deck for the keywords. And so I feel like it's just really spot on in this instance. Illuminate your aspirations. Yeah, I feel like it's time. It's time, pile number 2. Spirit is calling out to you to explore, to go on that adventure, follow this feeling, this urge that you have inside of you, and yeah, just see what sort of a journey you end up taking. It's really exciting stuff. I hope that these messages, pile number 2, spoke to you, that they gave you something useful. I hope that they were meaningful, or at the very least interesting or entertaining to listen to. If you're still here, by the way, please leave me a little magic wand emoji down in the comment section so that I would know that you watched this thing all the way through, that you found something fun or useful or enjoyable from these messages. I love hearing from you and connecting with you in the comment section, so I really hope to see you there. But as always, I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. And in the meantime, please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye. Hello and welcome to your reading, pile number 3. My name is Helen, and I am so excited that you have chosen to tune in and watch this reading, spend your time with me. So you chose this purple card, as well as the, oh my god, what's it called? Pyrite. The Pyrite Stone and the Seelenreise or Soul Journey Tarot. Excuse my German pronunciation. I am really not good at it. So yeah, but this is the Soul Journey Tarot, which we are going to take a look at a bit later, as well as the card that you chose. There is a message on the other side of this card, and we're going to discover it together at the end of your reading. We're going to use it to wrap this whole reading up. First thing that we're going to do though is we are going to take a look at these oracle cards, because these are going to give us a bit of an overview of what it is that you're currently dealing with, what is the situation that you are in, what are the most prevalent energies that you are dealing with at this time. So as you are listening to these messages, it should be fairly easy for you to recognize yourself, or conversely realize that maybe this isn't your pile, and then you can go and check out another one. But let's see what we get. Okay, we have affirmation, or like a decision, so to say. We have freedom. We have attract, to welcome and become available, to be ready, to hold and broadcast an intention. Stability. Oh, and rage. Okay, so pile number 3. Yeah, I have to be I have to be honest, there has been a bit of an undercurrent, this collective theme that has come through from basically every single pile, but every single pile has had a somewhat different form of expression, or how that underlying theme is coming through. And that underlying theme that I'm talking about is transformation, or changing things around. And so for you, pile number 3, that definitely seems to be a theme too. But in this instance, I feel like you are so ready to break out of some form of routine, or rigid, fixed way of being. Now, I do feel that starting off with this affirmation card and freedom, that again, with the first card here, even though it says affirmation, this is in its essence a card of making a choice and going through with it. So I do feel that you have finally made a decision that you cannot go back on. Like there is no turning back. You feel this so strongly, and the feeling is tied to the sense of freedom, wanting to break free, wanting to go after something more, something other than what exists right now. We also have this attract card as the center energy. And as it says, to welcome and become available, to be ready to hold and broadcast an intention. I definitely feel like you have a very concrete intention in your mind and in your heart, I even want to say. There is something that you feel so ready to go after. It's not something that has come on for you overnight. I don't feel like it's this eureka moment, this aha moment, this sudden breakthrough, and now you feel another sort of way. I feel like it's something that has been quietly and steadily growing in power. And I feel like it may have started out as something quite small, just a little nudge, maybe some annoyances here and there, but I feel like it has gradually grown into this thing where you have maybe you have realized earlier already that you want to break free, you want to do something different, but you maybe haven't felt quite ready to actually do anything about it. But I feel like now, pile number 3, you are in this space, if I can talk, where you are actually ready. Because I feel like this anger, this frustration, even though I know that it says anger, but I feel like it's rage. It feels like it has much more power behind it. This ferocious energy, this passion, this fire that is in you. Again, I even want to say like just this raw frustration with the way that things have been for way too long is really what is pushing you now. It has really come alive. It has really come to the forefront, and you can't ignore it anymore. You can't deny it anymore. I do feel that you are so ready to find something more, to find a new a new rhythm for yourself, a new routine for yourself, or maybe even have no routine at all for some time. Maybe you are sick of everything being so well defined, everything being so organized and labeled and so kind of in order. So that may be something as well. Maybe you're just ready to take things more easy for some time, to just go with the flow, to, again, with this freedom card, right? To allow things to just be, to take you to places without you needing to steer them specifically. So basically, as you can see, pile number 3, the message here is very straightforward. It goes in a very specific sort of direction. So if you recognize yourself, then you are definitely watching the right pile, and stay tuned, because we are now going to get some prompts or questions that Spirit wants you to hear answers to. So I have no idea what we are going to be discussing in this reading, what sort of messages Spirit deems important for you to hear at this time. But yeah, let's go ahead and see what is the first question or prompt that Spirit wants you to hear an answer to. Okay, I don't know why that card just kind of came out really funny and didn't want to go back in the deck, so we are taking it. We have strength. What are your strengths, your special abilities and attributes, your light? What empowers you, strengthens you, and defines you? What makes you capable and what makes you unique? So I have a feeling that Spirit wants you to hear a bit of a pep talk, to give you this cute little encouragement regarding the strengths that you have, what you are capable of, wanting to boost your self-esteem. So let's take a look at some of your most special abilities and attributes, I should say, sorry. Wow, okay, these cards jumped out really, really strongly. And you got the 2 major arcana cards, one of which are my absolute favorite Lovers card. Or, I don't know, maybe I have some new contenders now. But anyway, it's definitely at the top there. So we have the Lovers and we have the High Priestess with the Ace of Wands as the underlying energy. Okay, pile number 3, there is some majorly beautiful energy coming through from this pile. I am loving it. So we have this Lovers card, and when it comes to the strengths or special abilities or attributes that you have, you know what you want. There is something about your ability to commit, your ability to go full in or all in to something that you feel a strong feeling towards. There's just no holding back. When you choose something, especially with the High Priestess, I feel like there is this deep inner knowing when something is for you. You have a very strong intuition. I feel like you bring something special and something vulnerable, something truly deep and real and meaningful to the things that you commit to the things that you invest in. Of course, mainly this is talking about relationships, but it doesn't only have to talk about relationships. It can also talk about the again, the choices that you make in your life more broadly, the things that you choose to pursue, the things that you choose to give your time to. Maybe it's your hobbies, maybe it's some sort of like charity work or goodwill work or something like that. I don't know why that came through. Maybe it's a specific message for someone. But yeah, if you feel that something is right for you, if you feel that you want to support something, you want to share what it is that you have, you are really giving it your truest, most authentic, most real and vulnerable part of you. Like with this High Priestess, there's just so much like meaning and depth behind it that is difficult to put into words. But I feel like you know what I'm talking about. You should be able to recognize it very easily. And again, at the bottom of the deck, we have this Ace of Wands, which is talking about this fire, this passion, this ability of yours to spark yourself into action, to put everything that you have into something. If something feels exciting to you, then I feel like you don't hold back. You go in, you try it, you explore it. Like, it feels like there is almost this boldness or this fieriness in you that is making you go into something, and even if there is some fear, even if there is some doubt, I feel like it's not powerful enough to deter you from following something. So this desire to experience, this desire to explore and figure things out as you go, I feel like it's much more strong than any fear or doubt that may crop up for you. And I also feel that one of your massive strengths as well is this ability to trust yourself. I feel like with the High Priestess especially, you have this skill of really believing in what you feel, what you know to be right. So, I don't know, you seem to have so much character, so much strength, like literally in you, that it's really admirable. Let's keep going. Pile number 3. I am loving this energy so far. Let's also take a look at the next question or prompt that Spirit wants you to get an answer for. Okay, we have extra life. How can you recover from your mistakes? What can you do in the face of something unexpected? What opportunities can you create? How can you best utilize this second chance? Okay, so yeah, I feel like this is talking about, again, any of these situations where things go wrong, where maybe you take a misstep, where you need to start again, where you need to start over. Let's take a look at how can you recover from your mistakes. Okay. So interesting. We have the 9 of Cups and the 9 of Swords. And we also have the Moon. Okay, so I feel like the biggest trip up here could most likely come from, again, the mind, any sort of criticizing mindset that may come about. It's one of those things where even if we know where we're going, even if we believe in ourselves, and I feel like, again, you have a lot of this self-reliance and self-belief that you can tap into, but, you know, even in those instances, there are still times when our minds can get the best of us and where fears can override things. And so I feel like this 9 of Swords is basically talking about this place of potentially being tripped up by any fears, any hesitations and things like that. But with the 9 of Cups, the best antidote to that is first off by remembering what the goal is, remembering what the dream is. The 9 of Cups is a wish card. It's a wish fulfillment card. And in this instance, I feel like it's talking about needing to remind yourself what you are doing all of this for. What is that feeling? What is that end goal that you are going after, that you are trying to attain? But also giving yourself this pat on the back or this compassion and still feeling proud of yourself, even if things don't exactly turn out the way that you want them to. This 9 of Cups is saying that you actually have so much to be proud of, so much to be grateful for. And again, reminding yourself in those instances where those nagging thoughts sort of take over or where they can become a bit too powerful, where you may feel like you are not sure about the path, or you start doubting your abilities, maybe you start doubting the choices, maybe there are some difficulties that give you a sense of anxiety. I feel like, again, with the 9 of Cups, there is so much that you can kind of overpower with your past accomplishments, things that you can rely on, things that you can sort of turn to, whether it is the people in your life, whether it is the past experiences that you have overcome, the past difficulties that you have overcome, anything like that that you can really tap into to give yourself a little boost. I feel like it's really useful. Yeah, really stepping off that merry-go-round, like this is very aptly portrayed here, stepping off the merry-go-round and finding ways to make yourself feel better, finding ways to perk yourself up and give that little bit of emotional support and boost. And at the bottom of the deck, we have this Moon card. So this is again talking about like fears and worries kind of getting the best of you, or where things are not so clear, where things are not so evident, and you kind of have to rely very heavily on this intuition that you have, which, as we already went over, is very well honed and it's strong and it's true. But again, it doesn't mean that you are fully immune to these feelings of doubt or these thoughts of fear. So knowing that whatever sort of mistakes you do end up making, or wherever places you end up tripping, it's not the end of the road, right? The path goes on. There is still much more for you to discover and go through, and it's not the end of the story. It's just a little section of the story. Trusting that you have what it takes to make your way through, realizing that what the shadows that you may be seeing, they may be bigger than what they truly are in real life. And yeah, just kind of breaking through the illusion, breaking through that trap that our minds can get us stuck in at times. Okay, and finally, let's take a look at the last prompt or question that Spirit wants you to hear and answer for. Okay. And we have EXP needed, or experience needed, required skills to build in order to advance to the next level, prerequisites, necessary upgrades. Okay, so let's see where you can grow, or what sort of skills you can develop in order to be able to level up and move on this path that you want to move to and get the best results. So let's see where you can grow. Okay. So we have, oh my goodness, I actually can't get it. Okay. We have the King of Wands with the Three of Swords, and the Hierophant is the underlying energy here. Okay, so I'm getting different messages from this. The first message that I'm getting is tied to this deep emotional investment that was coming through from the first part. One of your strengths being you kind of going all in when you feel strongly about something, when you truly connect with something. But I feel like there is this shadow side to it as well. And the shadow aspect is that potentially when things do go wrong, or where people disappoint you, circumstances don't go your way, I feel like you may take it quite personally, or it may be a very difficult blow. So with the King of Wands and the Three of Swords, I feel like one of the ways in which you can grow and develop your skills is by growing a kind of thicker skin, and not taking any of those disappointments or rejections or anything like that doesn't go according to your plan, or that you aren't expecting. Learning to not take them personally, learning to not take them as a projection of you, or as a projection of the quality of the relationship that you have, or how you are viewed by someone, or what your worth is to someone. Building this wall, or separating your self-image from what may, again, like disappoint you, or ruffle your feathers, or not go according to plan. That is definitely one aspect here. But I also feel with the Hierophant being the underlying energy specifically, that potentially learning to share your own like shortcomings, your own mistakes, your own missteps, or disappointments in life, learning to integrate them as like life lessons. I'm kind of jumping back here to these two cards, learning to view the lessons in those and integrate them to see how all of these experiences have made you stronger, how they have built you up to be this resilient character that you are, and this bold and daring and adventurous spirit that you have. Like seeing how all of that has how all of these negative experiences have made you who you are, and also potentially, again, sharing that with other people, turning that into a source of wisdom, right? Because the Hierophant is very often a mentor-like energy, or just it talks about teachings and spreading the knowledge that you have. And so I feel like there's true value in it, turning what you have gone through into this positive, inspirational fuel for other people as well. But also just in general, seeing these experiences that you go through as lessons, as something that offers value, as something that gives you opportunities to grow, to develop, to mature. So yeah, that is what is coming through from these cards. But pile number 3, I know that this has been quite a long reading again, which seems to be becoming a theme with my readings. So thank you if you are still here, if you are hanging in there. We are almost done, I promise. We just have a couple of last oracle cards to look at, and then of course we're going to wrap the messages up with the card that you chose. But we are first going to get some advice messages from Spirit from this adorable but punchy oracle or Disney oracle. So let's see what Spirit wants you to pay attention to. Oh, wow. Okay, that was really quick and you got exactly 2. I love it. Okay, so the first card out is a true ambition. And yeah, this one is from The Princess and the Frog. This is Tiana. I absolutely, this is one of my favorite Disney movies. I have a couple, but this is definitely in the top 3. This card is speaking of holding on to this fierceness, this ferocity, this going after your dreams and working hard to get there. So again, I feel like this is Spirit encouraging you not to give up, especially when things go a bit sour, when things become more challenging, when things are not what you expected them to be. You know, holding that vision and keeping that ambition going. I feel like that is definitely something that is recommended here. Believing in the initial vision is also something that I want to say. So trusting that the thing that urged you to go after your vision, your goal, your dream, trusting that came in for you for a reason. We also have a brilliant idea with the Jiminy Cricket from Pinocchio. And yeah, again, I feel like Spirit is saying that you should really trust the ideas that you get, because I feel like there is true potency behind them. And again, this inner compass of yours, it feels like there is so much power in it. Again, with the High Priestess, especially with the Lovers, I feel like you really know what you are doing. You really know what you are choosing, what you are going after. Even if, again, at times it feels like you have made a mistake or you have made the wrong choice. I don't think that that's the case. I feel like even if you choose experiences that are uncomfortable for you to go through, the value that you get after going through them is something that makes the whole thing worth it in the end. So yeah, I feel like you know exactly what you were doing. At the bottom of the deck, we have Sweet Carelessness with the with Mowgli and Baloo, I think is the bear's name. Anyway, this is from Mowgli, and I don't know, I just love it because, again, I feel like Spirit is encouraging you to have this carefree attitude, or to believe that things are going to work out, that there is no need to worry, there is no need to stress, and yeah, just, again, just go with the flow, go with what you feel. Okay, the time has come to take a look at the message on the other side of this card, so let's see what you chose. Ooh, we have symbols of power. Formulate your own visual language by creating personal symbols. Your sigils, pictographs, glyphs, and images carry your signature and transmit their story to everything they touch. Author your very own magical vocabulary to fluently speak and share the native dialect of your spirit. Okay, so a quick disclaimer. This card is actually from an art magic deck. So it's very specifically talking about magic and spells and like creative magic specifically. But I feel like I like the keywords on these cards. So the symbol of power, or the symbols of power, feels potent. On the one hand, I feel like it's talking about possibly noticing powerful signs and symbols around you, and again, following that, using those and trusting that you are seeing things when you are meant to see them, that you are getting certain guidance when you are meant to get it. But I also feel like it's talking about you kind of making your own way and creating your own rules, creating your own norms, especially when you feel like you don't want to play by the rules that society has put in place or that everyone else around you is abiding by. And of course, I'm not talking about, you know, doing something illegal or doing something stupid. I'm just talking about carving your own personal path in life, not necessarily following the same steps as everyone else, and choosing to write your own story, choosing to follow your vision boldly. And if you have any sort of rituals, any sort of talismans, anything like that, if you believe in those sorts of things, of course. If you don't, that's fine too. But if you are spiritual like that, or magical like that, and you believe in things possessing power, crystals and gemstones and things like that as well, then you may benefit from using those as well, holding on to those if you feel like you need a little bit of support or encouragement from spirit. Whatever ways you connect to the divine or something bigger than you, it may really help you to boost this intuitive nudge and give you this sense of self-belief and this knowing that you are in touch with something bigger than the mundane, and you are following it and you are going after it boldly, and you are doing what you're meant to be doing. So, wow, pile number 3. This was so unexpected, I have to be honest. The messages coming through here were definitely very out of the blue, but also very interesting. So hopefully you feel the same way. Hopefully they gave you some meaning. And if that is the case, and if you're still here, by the way, please leave me a watermelon. Leave me a little watermelon emoji down in the comment section so that I would know that you made it here and that you are the real deal and that you had fun. I love connecting with you in the comment section, so I hope to see you there. But also, as always, I hope to see you back on this channel next Friday for some more messages, insight, and fun. And in the meantime, please take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.